Hi, my name's Karen Michelle. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. I really appreciate you guys subscribing to me, and I promise you I'm coming out with some really good videos within the next week. I just got internet as of today, so I can finally make videos again. Yay! Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to start this video off with probably the reason why you clicked on it was that gnarly thumbnail of my birthmark. It sits behind my ear. It is nice and textured. And yes, I was picked on really bad in the 6th grade for it. Now, I didn't notice I had my birthmark until about the age of 6, and it was simply when I put my fingers behind my ear and one side was smooth and one side was rough. I asked my mom, she said it was birthmark, and I was cool. And I mainly just kept my hair long for the most part so nobody would notice it, because when people did notice my birthmark, especially girls, and it sucked because I wanted to be friends with girls, you know, and not boys, because that's just how I was when I was in elementary school. Basically, if a girl found out, they'd be like, ew, and like be grossed out and wouldn't want to be my friend no more. And it sucked, dude. That happened all the time. And boys pretty much just made fun of me. They'd be like, hey, you got a brainworm, that's why you're ugly and stupid. I hated that. It was so annoying. But anyways, so I pretty much go most of my elementary grade school career without getting made fun of. I occasionally got the "you're stupid, brainworm, is ugly," insult, but for the most part my insults were kept at a minimum to me talking too much and being annoying. Fast forward to the 6th grade. Basically there was this kid in the 6th grade. He just hated me. Like, I don't know why he disliked me so much, but he just took every ounce of hatred in his body and directed it at me every day on a daily basis. Now, he didn't really have much to go off of in the beginning, so I didn't get a lot of insults or picked on too bad. But within a month of being in the 6th grade, I went from having semi-long hair to suddenly getting this butchered haircut that was up to like my earlobe, and that was the result of a miscommunication between me and the stylist because she didn't speak English. Thanks, Mom. And basically I got this butchered haircut that was really short, and I had just gotten glasses, thankfully, the same day. I think it was the day before, I don't remember, but I just remember it was a weekend. All it took was one weekend in the 6th grade, and I went from being okay to like not okay in their eyes. And I went to a really snooty elementary school. Yeah, and so it sucked when I showed up for school that Monday morning with my new glasses and my new cool do. And the first thing that came out of this kid's mouth was, "You got a brainworm." And that was like his go-to thing, was to call this a brainworm or a worm coming out of my ear, a fungus. Just anything. Like, if he didn't have anything to make fun of me for that day, he would go to my birthmark. And it sucked because there's nothing I could do about it. Like, that's my birthmark. There's nothing I can like make him stop making fun of me. When I told the teachers, they didn't care. They said that I deserved it. Some teachers said I deserved it. Some said that I brought it upon myself. Others said I talked too much and I was annoying, and I disrupted the class all the time, and that is why I got picked on. And I don't really remember being that annoying or disrupting the... Okay, no, I remember being annoying. I remember everybody hated me and said I was annoying. I got that. But you know, I had certain things about me because I had suffered from ADHD that I just couldn't help, you know. And it's like nowadays, if that was me in the classroom, I would be getting a lot of help from the teachers. A lot of the kids are nicer, at least in my opinion. I would hope so. But back then in the early 2000s, it was like getting fed to the wolves back then if you had any mental health issues or you just were struggling in whatever it was that you were struggling in. And so basically, I get picked on daily from this kid, and other kids start to pick up on it, and it got to a point where the whole class hated me, the whole grade 6 hated me. I got picked on all the time in class. I got picked on during recess, got picked on during lunch. I remember one time during gym class, one of the kids put a live beetle down my shirt, one of those black beetles with the huge pinchers. And when I got up to like shake it out of my shirt, and I told the teacher what happened because I got in trouble for standing up, they gave me lunch detention because they said I was lying and I was making it up, and all that fun stuff. And I'll never forget that. Like, that was just the kind of, that I think was the turning point where I was like, I have to take care of this myself. And that is the biggest mistake I think a teacher can make as far as when it comes to a kid getting bullied, is when the kid decides that they have to do something about it, that they have to take care of it themselves. No kid that is getting bullied should feel like they have to take care of whatever reason they're being bullied or whoever's bullying them. Like, that's how school shootings happen. And thankfully I wasn't a freaking psychopath. But with that being said, and so other things they did to me was like they would get rubber bands and put staplers and launch them at me, and it hurt when they hit you, and it didn't matter if you told the teacher because they didn't believe you. They would throw erasers at me, they would throw spitballs at me. Now the spitballs and the erasers were more obvious ones, so they wouldn't always get away with throwing those at me. But it's like, dude, if they're throwing spitballs and erasers at me, how can you not believe they're throwing staplers at me, like literally nonstop, because they knew they could get away with it, so they always did it. And it was terrible because, like, oh, I remember, I hated it. So whenever I decided I was going to retaliate against these kids, okay, so the first kid I wanted to retaliate against was this boy I had a crush on. Now, the reason why I wanted to retaliate against him is because he was the only person that was nice to me in the entire grade. The only boy that was nice to me in the entire grade. And so as a result, I had a crush on him. And so I wanted him to know that I had a crush on him. So I told him, and all the kids made fun of him for me liking him. So in turn, he decided to make fun of me too. He said he didn't like me and he only felt sorry for me, and that's the only reason why he was my friend, or like wasn't even my friend, or that's why he talked to me. So when and since the teacher saw that we got along, we sat by each other in school, and he said he hated sitting by me and all that shit. So when we went back to class after that recess, I took a pencil and an English book, and I jabbed the pencil on to the thigh of his leg, and I took the English book and I slammed it down. And the rumor is that to this day he still has the point of a pencil lead in his leg, like for the rest of his life from that incident. And I did that because I was mad at him for basically talking crap about me behind my back. I don't know, I was psycho. And that was like a message to the rest of the kids that were picking on me, like, if I can do that to him, the person that I have a crush on and think is my friend, imagine what I can do to you. Given this is the end of the year, it took me all year to grow a pair of balls. So then about a week passes, and it's like the last 2 or 3 weeks of school, and this kid starts throwing spitballs and erasers at me in class. And I just had it at that point with this kid, and I never really retaliated against him because anytime I did, he always like came up with the most cunning things to say. Everybody would like team up with him, and most of the time I would get in trouble and he wouldn't. So this time I was just frustrated. So this time I just had it. So I started, like, every time he said something I would ignore it, and he just kept saying more and more stuff because I was just ignoring him, and it bothered him. So at this point he starts throwing things at me, and he throws an eraser at me and he misses. And the teacher leaves the room right at this time, and right at this time I grab this eraser and I chunk it as hard as I can, and it hits him in the eye, like while his eye was open and everything, his eye's red. And the teacher enters the room right as this happens, so he tells on me, and the teacher tells him, Oh, I didn't see anything happen because she had seen him throwing erasers at me and spitballs at me all year. And so this is the only teacher that ever really did anything or ever really helped me out. She's probably the only reason why I am probably still alive today and didn't commit suicide freaking in the 6th grade because of this one teacher. And I'm just kidding, I wasn't suicidal in the 6th grade, but probably would have been had things been a lot worse, because they can always be worse. And now I didn't have any friends. I had one friend, and it was the most hated girl in school. I was the second most hated girl. She was the most hated girl. And the reason why she was the most hated is because she was like me, but on crack. Like, she had ADHD to the max. She had no boundaries. However, this poor girl had a lot of things going on at home. Her mom beat the living hell out of her like every single day. She would get, I think she was getting touched by her stepfathers or her mother's boyfriends. And I remember one time I had gotten to stay the night with her. And her mom was the type of mom that was like always getting her nails done, like Trisha Paytas. That's who her mom reminded me of. If I could say who her mom reminded me of, it would be Trisha Paytas. So imagine Trisha Paytas having like a 11, 12-year-old daughter. And so basically I went to stay at her house this day, and I remember I don't know if she said the wrong thing or what happened, but something little minuscule happened, and it was like 6 or 7 o'clock at night, and her mom took her and locked her in her room. And she had like a little like gate lock so she could lock her from the outside and she couldn't get out. And then for the rest of the night, she just like talked to me about her problems and her life for like the remainder of the night. And then like finally at like 11 o'clock at night, she let her daughter out of her room to eat pizza that was like that they cooked in the oven. And we watched a movie and went to bed. And when I was younger, I didn't think that that was abuse. But of course now I know, and so she had all these things going on. So that's why she was the way she was. And so if you're a kid or a teenager or in school now and somebody is really weird or just off the wall, or maybe they're a discipline problem in class, chances are something's going on at home, whether their parents are alcoholics, maybe they're drug addicts, maybe they're superficial, greedy people that shouldn't have children to begin with, aka this one mother. So I did have one other friend before I befriended the most hated girl in school, and it was sad how we stopped becoming friends because me and her were good friends, and she was from out of town, so she didn't, when she came to school, it was about 3 months into school, so I was already hated, but she didn't know that I was the most hated girl. And I had met her outside of school in I don't remember if it was basketball or what it was, and so that's how we became friends. I think we became friends over like Christmas break or something like that. And so the whole like 2 weeks of Christmas break, we stayed the night at each other's houses, we had fun, we were like besties. And then we go to school in January, and the first week was good, but then after the first week, I guess people had talked to her and she became friends with this other girl that was just cooler than me, and all of a sudden she said she didn't like me and didn't want to hang out with me anymore. And it sucked, man, because that was my only friend at the time, and I almost got beat up by this big group of girls in the 6th grade. And I remember she jumped in front of them, like in front of me, and was like, if you're gonna fight her, like, you're gonna have to go through me. And I remember that was like so cool. Now where I lived, you were still in elementary school in the 6th grade. However, in most places middle school is 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Now there were two girls that had transferred about mid-November from their middle school to Briarwood Elementary School, and they were still in the 6th grade, but since they transferred states or whatever, that's basically how they went from a middle school to an elementary school. So let me just explain. When you go from elementary school to middle school, you learn a lot of rules and a lot of like social cues that you didn't really know in elementary school or learn in elementary school. So these two girls, the one that threatened to beat me up and the girl that stuck up for me, they were both from middle school, having experienced it for at least a month or two, so they knew the social cues when it came to fights. Because when I was in elementary school and it came to fights, they were very elementary, you know, they were just a bunch of kids fighting and it wasn't a big deal. Middle school and high school, when people get in fights, it's more of a deeper issue than when kids get in fight on the playground, you know, they're just fighting because, I don't know, somebody took something, I don't know. Basically, by the end of the 6th grade, I had no friends except for the most hated girl in school, and then she stole all my hip clips, so she wasn't my friend anymore. And I stabbed one of the kids I had a crush on, stabbed him in the leg, chunked an eraser at somebody's eye, almost made them go blind, but that was my mortal enemy, so I was happy about it. After enduring a whole year of torture from all these kids, as a result of stabbing this kid in the leg the last 2 weeks of school, I got expelled. And thankfully, they just had so much of my shit that they didn't want to fail me in the 6th grade, so I passed and went on to the 7th grade. Now, after that, I decided I was never going to have my hair short again. I was never going to show my birthmark again. However, now I don't care if you see my birthmark, and I'm about to tell you guys what it is. So, my birthmark, the medical term for it is hemangioma. It's basically a collection of blood vessels. It happens in the womb, and it usually happens somewhere on the head or on the face. So I'm actually pretty lucky that it's in between behind my ear, because I don't have to worry about hitting it whenever I'm brushing my hair, or I don't have to worry about looking at this ugly birthmark on my face, having to cover it up. It goes. I know nobody's going to make fun of me because of it. If you do make fun of my birthmark, I won't block you though, I promise. It doesn't hurt my feelings. If you have any questions about my birthmark, let me know in the comments. I will answer any question you have. Like I said, it's just a collection of blood vessels, and I'm lucky it's not on my face or my neck or my head or anything like that. And it's safely behind my ear. No, it's not cancerous, and apparently it doesn't ever have a chance of turning into a tumor or cancer or anything like that. Thankfully, it's just behind my ear, and I have absolutely no problems with it being there. As I did whenever I was younger, because I was picked on severely, I always tried to hide it. However, now I don't care if people see it. It's my birthmark, and I wear it proud. Now, I wish I could feel the same way about my weight as I feel about my birthmark, and I'm going to get into that. So, if you've been following me on my Instagram, you would know. And so basically, I haven't posted a picture from my shoulders down. And the reason for that is because I gained 100 pounds within a year. Now, it's been 2 or 3 years since I've gained the weight, so I've had it for a while now. But prior to those years, I was always skinny, and I was never more than 140 pounds, and sitting at 5'7", that's pretty good weight in my opinion. I was usually 130, but I fluctuated from 125 to 140. So whenever I got to 220, I got up to 240, but by the time I had checked my weight, I was at 225, and it was crazy because I hadn't checked my weight in between that, you know, time frame. The last time I had checked my weight, I was 125, and then all of a sudden I'm 225. And one thing I forgot to put in, and I want to just add this, is that a lot of the reason why I did not check my weight over this 6-month period, I know it said it took a year, but it really was like 6 months that it took to gain 100 pounds. No joke, it happens. But the reason why I hadn't checked my weight is because I was in a really severe state of depression. It was like the year after my dad passed away from cancer, and before that, my grandma had passed away from a heart attack, and I pretty much lived with her in Peru, and we had spent a lot of time together the years before she had passed. So I was really close to my grandmother, and I was really close to my dad, and it sucked when they passed away. And so I took it very hard, and all I did was like sleep and eat. And I remember I kept eating mint chocolate ice cream with Oreos, and like now, like when I see that dessert, it doesn't give me a happy feeling. It like literally makes me feel depressed when I like, you know, have that dessert now. But I stay away from it because it's literally, I think, what contributed to a lot of my weight gain. I mean, I would eat a tub of this ice cream and a whole pack of Oreos in like a 2 day period. And yeah, I gained a lot of weight and I gained it quickly. And before, I was somebody who could eat whatever I wanted, never gained a pound. But I was also very active. I was always doing something. I was always with my friends. I was always out partying, or I was always active doing something. And I went from being somebody who was very active to somebody who just wanted to sleep all day and do absolutely nothing. And that, my friends, is what a lot of people call depression. And the question is, am I still suffering from depression? Probably, but definitely not anything as close to what I was suffering from in the past. And I think this summer, if I stick to the goals that I want to achieve, I think I will overcome my depression, to be honest with you. And I know that, when you subscribe to somebody, y'all don't think a whole lot about what the person may be going through in their life. And I know y'all don't think that you guys can affect us, but you guys have affected me in such a positive way that you guys don't even realize. I know I only have 1,000 subscribers, but to me, to gain 1,000 subscribers in like a month period, 2 month period, that tells me that I'm doing something right. In this world where I may think that I'm doing so many things wrong, I'm doing something right to at least 1,000 people. And the fact that my videos, the fact that all my videos combined has hit about 500,000 views is a big deal to me too, considering the fact that I just started in mid-March. And that tells me that these people are watching my videos. You guys may not always agree with what I'm saying, but y'all are watching, and that puts me in such a positive place and such a happy place. But then that also makes me ask this question too, is like, do I have a social media addiction? Now, that I want to get into. Why do I need people subscribing to me on YouTube to be such a positive thing for me to be happy? Like, why do I need that? Why was I depressed prior to that happening? And it's not because I just want acceptance on social media and I want subscribers and that's what makes me happy. It's just the fact that during this time that I was depressed, I lost a lot of friends that I had, and it's not like that I can't call a lot of these people up and go hang out. It's the fact that I don't really want to do a lot of those things, and I enjoy doing what I'm doing now. I enjoy making videos. I've always made videos, if you check out my old YouTube channel, you can see that. But I never really took it serious, and if I would have stuck with it, I'm sure my old YouTube channel would have done really well, but I never stuck to it. And this time I want to stick to it, you know what I'm saying? And I know I've gone almost like 2-3 weeks without making a video, but actually let me rephrase that. I've gone 2 or 3 weeks without posting a video, but I've been working on videos, and hopefully, I keep saying next week, hopefully next week you guys are going to get the videos that I've been making. I've been editing them, I've been getting internet connection, so I've been able to create the things that I want to create. But long story short, I gained a lot of weight and it made me really unhappy. And I think a lot of the reason why I don't want to go out and hang out with the same people that I hung out with before is because I don't want to see them. I don't want them to see me with this weight on me, I guess. And I don't know. I know they wouldn't say things, but like, I just don't want people to see me like this. And that's something I need to overcome in so many ways, but I am working on my weight and I'm actively doing things to lose weight. And I'm not going to be scared to show you guys that I'm fat, and you're going to see that because the next vlog / video that I'm going to post is going to be a vlog. And I'm sure there's parts where you will see my entire body, and I don't care. I need to just accept that. Let's get back to this video that I'm making, and I'm sorry I had to add in this voiceover, but I wanted to explain that a little bit better. Whatever the number was, I don't know, but I know it got up to like 240, and now I'm down to 215, but it's not even, doesn't even feel like a lot. But I feel like I look better than I did a couple months ago. And I feel like a lot of that just has to do with my confidence. I don't know why my confidence is higher, but maybe it's because I'm beginning to accept myself a little bit more than I had in the past. Now, my goals for this summer is to swim every day, and I don't know if I've posted the vlogs yet or not, but I've been somewhat achieving that goal. I've been swimming every day or every other day, and I've been getting a tan, and I like it, you know, I like swimming, I like tanning, and so hopefully I can stick to that and lose weight. Now, my next goal is to change up my diet. My diet has to change. It just does. You know, I'm drinking way too much soda, which is full of calories and sugar that you don't need. I'm eating way too much bread, just way too much sugar in my diet, and way too many carbs, and I really just need to cut the soda out for the most part. I need to change the french fries. I need to cut those out. Fast food, I need to try to fluctuate and not eat it as often. Even if it is just a sandwich, I need to eat food that I cook myself, or at least prep, or whatever the case is. And so that's my next goal. And I also have these weight loss pills that my sister had bought me. The brand is called Plexus. You take each pill for a different reason or whatever. And so I'm going to go more into detail about it in a different video if you'd like for me to. But basically, I'm going to start taking these pills as well, along with so basically I'm going to start taking these pills as well as eating a little bit healthier and working out. So I'm going to see how much weight I drop within a 2-3 month period of taking pills, changing up my diet almost drastically, because I'm going to be cutting a lot of those extra calories out. I may not, you know, change my diet to where I'm eating 100% healthy, but I'm going to change it up to where I'm not eating those extra calories in like my drinks. I'm not eating those extra sugars in like the cookies that I eat or something like that. Like, I want to make sure that the snacks that I snack on and the food that I eat is something that I prepared myself. So my goal is to stay away from fast food for the entire summer. So if I can manage to stay away from fast food, cook my own food, eat more nutritious, cut out soda, work out every other day or every day, even if it's by swimming, make sure I try to maintain a healthy tan and don't overdo it. But my main goal is to be comfortable on camera. And even if I'm chubby and I never lose weight, I want to still be able to film myself and be comfortable enough to show you guys that, yeah, I'm fat. I'm not the skinniest girl out there, and I want to at least, you know, be able to be on camera and let you guys see that I'm not the skinniest girl. I want to just at least be able to be on camera and not have to worry about whether or not I look fat. Like, I want to lose weight, but I also want to be comfortable in my own skin, even if I am going to stay this way, you know, which hopefully I don't. Hopefully this little experiment is successful and I lose weight, even if it's just 20 pounds. Hopefully I lose 40 or 50 pounds. I would love to lose 100 pounds to get back to my tiny self that I was in the past. So hopefully I can be more comfortable on camera. Hopefully I can lose some weight, and hopefully these vlogs that I bring you are more relatable and can help you, I don't know, go through whatever you're going through, because I'm going to try to show you everything I'm going through. I'm going to try to show you my life, show you my daily routine. Even if it's just a video once a week, I'm going to show you guys what I do on a daily basis, and I'm going to show you guys, you know, how I'm switching up my food. If I'm taking the pills regularly, I'll show you what kind of pills they are, and I'm just bringing you guys on my journey, and hopefully I lose weight. That would be crazy if I just start dropping pounds like crazy, because I know a lot of the reason why my weight is just staying the same and I'm not losing weight is because I'm not making an effort. And I'm wondering, even if I make just a little bit of an effort, how far it's going to go. And so hopefully my insecurity of being on camera, even if I'm a little bit overweight, doesn't affect me anymore, and I show you guys myself. So this is more of a story time about the 6th grade, and if you want to hear more story times about grade school, particularly the 7th grade, because the 7th grade was even more of a wild ride. I mean, I went from being this ugly duckling to suddenly somewhat of an upgrade. It was my first year of junior high. I mean, what was your first year of junior high like? You know, I went to the 7th grade in 2003, so early 2000s. I have diary entries, I have notes from this time period, so if you want a story time video about that, like this video, please. I would be so grateful. Hit that subscribe button. I will be so grateful. And I know I only have one hand painted, and it's because I ran out of nail polish remover, and that just tells you a lot about my personality, me as a Gemini, and what I'm about and what I do. And yeah, so I hope you guys like this, and hopefully the next year that I go through is a positive one, because I'm now 27. And yeah, thank you for watching.